Stephen Shields Radio Show.
Hi Peter, how are ya?
Good, Stephen. How you going?
Good, mate. Good to see ya. Lots been happening with me. I'm back on the NDIS, Peter, and it's not very good.
Well, the NDIS isn't very good, or you're not very good?
No, they're not good because they're always it's always a hassle with them, you know. And I applied for the Housing Commission and they rejected me.
What, through NDIS? Was it a service provider? Who was the service provider? Well, you don't want to name them necessarily. We can talk about that offline.
Oh, it was Apollo Care, but I applied for the Housing Commission myself, and 3 months going back and forth to doctors, and they rejected me. And Apollo Care is my provider, but it's always a problem with invoicing with the NDIS. You know, you tell them and they just don't listen.
Yeah, okay. So Apollo is telling the NDIS, the actual federal government, and the federal government's not listening. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's just simple things. I even wrote to Angus Taylor and Mike Freeland.
Okay, yep.
But they tell me go and complain to the NDIS, so I did. You know, you just get fed up with it.
Look, I don't understand. Like, it's a federal government system. I don't understand why your local MP, whoever that is, wouldn't be helping you out during that process. Do you need any me to follow up anything for you?
I do. It's,
okay.
You know, I spoke to Mike Freeland. No one's taking me seriously.
Yeah.
And when I rang the Housing Commission department, the ladies were flirting with me on the phone.
Oh, okay.
And I don't understand it. And
I don't understand that either. So Housing Commission, that would be a state government matter. So maybe we can hook you up with the right people there. That's not a problem.
Yeah. But look, I've been watching, I know ADH TV, Alan Jones, and Pauline Hanson was saying there's NDIS fraud going on. Providers are ripping the government off.
Look, I wouldn't know, but that wouldn't surprise me. I can tell you from state programs that we do, particularly around, for example, recent flood funding, there's always people that put in you know, false applications trying to get money from the government when they're not entitled to it. So that wouldn't surprise me if that's also happening in the NDIS. In any other government scheme whereby the government's handing out money based on criteria.
It's I don't know what I don't know if someone up in the NDIS doesn't like me, but it's been a very hard time.
Yeah, look, I just have to. But are you approaching the NDIS team yourself, or Apollo doing that on your behalf?
Well, a couple of times I've approached NDIS myself, but I always approach my caseworkers first from Apollo Care.
Yep, and are they also making the same phone calls or same contacts?
They are, but they're very slow.
Right. Okay. Yep. Well, I'm not sure if it's obviously where the breakdown is, but I'm happy to talk to you offline some point later today, and we can try and help you sort that one out.
Yeah, that'll be good, you know.
Yep.
And it's it's what's going on, because I started watching Alan Jones on ADH TV now.
I'm not sure what ADH TV is.
He's got his own app because he used to work for Sky News Australia, but
yeah, of course he did. Yeah.
There's this whole cancel culture going on. There was the CPAC conference. I watched the live stream. Did you go?
No, mate. As I said to you, I've been away for the last week. So no, I didn't go.
Tony Abbott was there, and they were just talking about being cancelled. Well, what's been happening with you lately around Camden and Narellan? What have you been up to?
Mate, look, we got lots of stuff going on. You know, we're still delivering on projects that we made commitments to. So we have the Oran Park Fire Station that is being constructed as we speak, and that's looking like it will be delivered first thing next year. which is good. Similarly, with Harrington Park Primary School, there's an upgrade going on there, which should be finished roughly at the end of this year. It may fall over into the beginning of next year. So we're just, the government and their contractors and so forth are just in Camden working to deliver some of those commitments that we've made, which I'm very happy with. And I mean, there's certainly some commitments that we've made that we've exceeded, which is always good to know. But just in terms of what's happening in Camden right at the moment, we're lucky, I think, to have escaped the recent rain in Sydney with not a lot of damage, particularly from the Nepean. But that's not to say the threat won't be coming back next week. So, just be making sure that lines of communication are open during that kind of process. Look, other than that, trying to get out and about and, knock on people's doors, and really just about how I can help people. And, we have plenty of those coming through the door, which we take on as a team. And, look, things are really positive, I've got to say, at the moment. Really positive for all of that stuff that I've been doing.
Yeah, because I inquired about joining the Liberal Party, Peter. Now, in your opinion,
right,
would joining the Liberal Party be easy?
Well, it should be. It's an application form, and you put that through.
Yeah.
HQ then will then send that through to the appropriate branch if you've requested a branch. Yeah.
That'd be good. But that's what's happening. We've had so much rain, and a lot of potholes are hanging around on our roads too.
Yeah, and I imagine certainly some of those. I mean, they'll be fixed. They'll be fixed by council, but there might be some sentiment around it at the moment that if we're expecting heavier rain, particularly around the Nepean next week, then it might be a bit futile or a bit early to repair those. And I know that Camden Council are still working to repair Cobbity Bridge, and that's probably one of the ones that I think is very critical for that to happen. So I don't know that as a state government, we've given the council some money to go towards their public assets for repair, and Cobbity Bridge, as I've suggested to them, could be one of those projects that some of that funding could be used for.
Wow. Dominic Perrottet's been very busy too.
Oh, well, you'd like to hope that your Premier is always busy. But no, he is very busy. He's getting out and about. He's getting, a lot of electorates in New South Wales. So you want your leader, and similarly, I'm sure they want the opposition leader. Those supporters of Labor and their members would want their opposition leader to be out and about as well. But no, look, I know that our Premier is very serious about making sure that we're delivering on what we actually commit to, and very focused on winning the next election, so that we can continue on with the vision that we have, and in terms of the commitments that we've made in the budget to make sure that we continue to progress and creating a brighter future for everybody. Yeah.
There's been a lot of criticism lately about the Australian Liberal Party, about the fall of the Liberal Party, Peter.
Yeah, right. Okay, I haven't seen or read any of that, but I'm happy to be guided. Yep.
It's in the media that there's a lot of Liberals who are supporting the Greens and the Labor in our party.
Okay. I haven't read those, but I'm happy to take them on board and have a look through them. But look, I would say that as a Liberal Party, we're very united. So I'm not certain why we've got whether they be members of Parliament supporting the Greens. Certainly, if they're supporting the Greens over our own priorities, I would find that problematic. But I'm not fully aware of what you're speaking to, but I'm happy to look into it.
When you listen to Alan Jones, it's quite interesting what you hear about, even in state level, what's going on, and federal, even MPs. It's the same in the Labor Party too, Peter.
Yeah. So when you say interesting, what sort of things? Look, I mean, what I could certainly say is that from my own perspective, I'm only interested in serving the the Camden electorate, those residents and businesses in the electorate, and whether it be helping them, access funds for flood recovery, or whether it to be helping them with everyday matters that are going on. I'm more than happy to continue to do that. And, my aspiration isn't about power, it's about service. So I can only speak for myself without knowing other matters that you might be referring to.
Our healthcare system's been in crisis too. There's been nurses striking in our local hospitals, Peter.
Yep. Yeah, look, you look at Campbelltown, you look at how good that is, that upgrade. I can tell you that in southwest Sydney, we have, we spent 800 million or thereabouts at Liverpool, and 766 million doing sniffing upgrades at Campbelltown. I know it's a matter of getting an unlocking, and this is a federal government matter that I know Brad Hazard is dealing with. More skilled workers, particularly around GPs and doctors, coming into the system. But similarly, we need to continue to fill any nursing vacancies that we can have. And the answer, from our perspective, is that we're going about and doing that. I know the nurses' unions, for example, they want ratios, but Chris Minns, we all know, has come out and said that he will not support ratios. So, look, all I can tell you is that if there are vacancies, we need to fill them. That's as simple as it gets.
Yeah, it's pretty sad, actually.
Yeah, well, we certainly have the infrastructure. It's just about getting potentially getting nurses, retaining nurses. And look, I'm not the health expert, but it's pretty common sense here in my view. If we have nursing vacancies, then we should be filling them. And if there's anything that I can do as a member to ensure that those vacancies are being filled, then I'm happy to help out. But that's certainly not my role or my expertise.
Another question: what made you become an MP, Peter, in your life to join the Liberals?
Well, I spent 9 years on Camden Council. Yeah. So I got elected to Camden Council in 2012. Yeah. And the reason I put my hand up for council was because I'd heard that a lot of growth was coming into the area. This is back in about 2011. Yeah. And I wanted to make sure that everything that I loved about Camden, I felt that others loved about Camden, particularly around its history, its natural beauty and heritage, all those sorts of things that needed to be protected. I put my hand up to be elected to council, and I did get elected to council in 2012 to protect all those sorts of things. So, as we know, the growth was legislated in 2006 by Labor, and I just wanted to make sure that everything that I felt everybody in Camden, or most people in Camden at that point in time, loved about Camden, there to actually make it that it maintained, and that philosophy follows. So, it's still one of my priorities as a state member of Parliament to make sure that the beauty, the history, and the heritage of Camden is maintained. It's still one of my priorities, and I think that we're doing a great job in terms of that in Camden. We haven't really interfered with a lot of that. In fact, we have actually added at least one, I think maybe a couple of sites to the heritage list. But it's also about providing the services that Camden needs, and we need connectivity through rail, through all sorts of public transport. And we need to make sure that the building of schools, for example, is keeping up with a rapid population growth. And I think we're doing a reasonably good at that. Yes, we're playing catch up. But having said that, from when Labor legislated the Southwest Growth Area in 2006, they certainly didn't plan or build any schools in that 5 years. So we're playing catch up for that reason.
Yeah, and how do you feel about Camden's changed so much? It used to be a country town, and they put McDonald's in Camden, a new BP in Camden. Are you disappointed about that? Well,
the new McDonald's was before my time, so that was done in the council term of 2008 to 2012.
Yeah.
Look, I don't necessarily have a problem with the McDonald's. It would have been nice to potentially keep it out, but I think they've done a reasonably good job in keeping it sympathetic to the feel of the town.
Mm.
You know, the natural street character and so forth. But yeah, no, look, the BP, and I you know, everybody in my view has a right to start a business and open a business. I do have some planning concerns around where BP is located, but other than that, look, you must make sure that we, you know, all the history and heritage that we have in Camden, you know, whether it be, you know, the St John's Church, or whether it be, you know, the old council chambers. Lots of different stuff that we have in Camden that has been around for a long time. It's critical that we ensure that that is protected. So,
yeah, because a lot of people were disappointed with the traffic lights on the road too in Camden as well.
Yeah, look, I was councillor at the time, and I don't regret that decision, because I do recall very vividly with the old crossings that not only was there a safety risk, but people were crossing you know, at various times, and potentially, well, not potentially, in fact, what happened was that traffic was banking up well down Corridor Road because they couldn't get past the crossings because there was no management. You get one car across, maybe two cars across, and then you stop again for another 30 seconds while the next group of people crossed. So the lights have definitely improved the traffic. I don't think they've diminished the town a lot. In fact, I've just come back from driving back down from Queensland, gone through a number of country towns, and you know, it's not country lights in those country towns, traffic lights. That's not atypical. So look, I think we've held on to that. And look, and when we did it at the time, it was a time when the Camden Council were moving out to Oran Park. Again, that was the decision of the prior council before I was on it. And we just wanted to make sure that the town of Camden, it's all about it could be sustained. And, you know, looking back on it 8 years later or thereabouts, I think Camden is being sustained. Yes, it's, you know, we could always get more business in Camden in terms of business traffic from local people, but yeah, I certainly don't see Camden being in poorer shape than it was when I was on council going back to 2012. But you know, it's my belief that council should be doing everything they can to keep that town not only you know, protected, its heritage, but also to activate the town to get more, you know, foot traffic through the town to help the local businesses.
Exactly. Peter, we'll wrap it up now. I always love having you on the show.
Yeah, no worries. And thanks for the chat again. Sorry I couldn't stay longer. I've just got a committee that I've got to chair over Zoom over the next 15 minutes. So,
yeah, thanks, mate.